your two dads show. Ooh, JJ and Deacon, they're the ones in the know. Subscribe quick, the Squid Monster's on the way. Inspire with us, tomorrow's news today. This morning.
Amazing news, like SCOTUS says that Texas can arrest migrants. I guess that's good. I mean, it's probably pretty good, right? Good morning, everybody. I'm JJ. Restream is real slow to change things. Oh, I'm Judge JJ. I'm JJ, and that's Deacon. We are your two dads. We meet Monday through Friday at 8 o'clock in the morning, thereabouts, and we talk about stuff. And you're welcome to start your day the best way with us. Hey, that rhymes. You think that'll stick?
Start your day the best way with us. Yeah, it's pretty cool.
That awesome intro song. You can check out our SoundCloud in the link and download all of it. It's amazing.
What's up, dude?
Hey. You know, I gotta say, it's you kind of dropped this news on me yesterday that a federal court judge had ruled that illegal aliens can
carried the bang bangs.
Yeah, you know, and I was like, what? Why are we doing that? And you know, I had to, because it got dropped on me. I hadn't thought of that before, and it's been percolating. And you know what? I think she's right. I think I kind of think so. Oh, and I want to talk about it a little bit if you want to.
Okay, what do you think? But you think the judge is right?
I think the judge is right. I think that well, look, illegal aliens, they have the right to free speech, don't they? I mean, we agree with that.
You can get me hot on your column. I have to take my hoodie off.
I'm just saying, like, they have the right. Do they have the right to due process? Do they have the right to not be slaves as human beings, not as citizens, as human beings?
Do you remember when it was in the 90s when that kid went over to the other country and he was in that other country and he broke the law in that country? Yes. And you know exactly where I'm going. And the punishment.
Caning. I know where
was it? Where was it?
Singapore. It was
Singapore.
He got caned.
And one of the punishments was caning, and he was going to get caned. And America flipped their shit over. Well, liberals flipped their shit over here. Right. This was back when we were young enough that we didn't know the difference between liberals and the conservatives and all that crap. Mm-hmm. You know, and they flipped out and they tried to get it stopped. And no, dude, you're in their country. This is their laws.
Yeah. I'm not saying that's right or good, but when you're in another country,
I'm not agreeing with it, but hey, you're there. You're on their property.
Okay. So I want to bring it up. I'm going to bring it up, and we're going to talk about it. But I guess the title card, he can hear me. The title story of the show is actually a different ruling, but you know, we're just going to have some Supreme Court stuff today. But we will touch on this one. The big deal is that within like 24 hours of the Supreme Court issuing a stay on arresting migrants, they released another decision that did 180 on that. So there is a court order from the Supreme Court. I think this is the right one. That says Texas law allowing police to so there was a court order that puts Texas law allowing police to arrest migrants who cross illegally on hold. And then there was Supreme Court green lights Texas law that allows police to arrest migrants. So first, man, gum restream. You guys, I hate this service, dude. I don't hate it, but I mean, like, why are you guys?
You're preaching to the choir, brother.
So first they put a hold on the order, and then they were like, "Never mind, you're good to go." So Texas crafted this law that said, "Hey, if you cross from an international border into Texas illegally, then that is illegal." And Texas can arrest you. Police in Texas can arrest you. And it also set up, I was listening to Rekieta talk about it. You know Rekieta Law. I'm sure you listen to Rekieta Law all the time, but I know you know who he is. So I was listening to Ricada discuss it, and
you know me so well. It's so great.
I was listening to Ricada discuss it, and that law not only kind of made it illegal to cross into Texas, but it also put this framework into place where an illegal criminal migrant that is arrested, they can they're not deported. It gives Texas the framework to say, look, you can either go to federal prison where nobody speaks English and it's going to be, or state prison, it's going to be real bad for you, or you can plead guilty. Yes, you did this, and voluntarily leave Texas and go anywhere else. So Texas isn't deporting criminal migrants. We're just saying you're caught, you got to go. And, I mean, it's not a burden on our prison system, and we're getting people out of the country. So like, it's genius. It's genius. So Supreme Court
see
says,
what I mean by like this is being a chess game being played by the squid monster that's about 10 steps ahead.
Well, but this is Texas outplaying the squid monster.
Well, I know this is a move, but do you see how the squid monster is trying to do his?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
The Texas things. I got to talk in 30 seconds. This all kind of mirrors to me a little bit the federal marijuana law and the state marijuana law, because right now in Kentucky, if I get caught with marijuana, I get a ticket and I have to go to court, and depending on how much I have. But if I go to Illinois, I don't. Right. So those are two different lands, two different states. But under the federal law, it's still illegal in both.
But the states are choosing to or to not like enforce those things or lend assistance. On the Supreme Court greenlighting Texas law, Judge Sotomayor criticized Texas for causing chaos and upsetting the federal-state balance. And Kagan argued against the Fifth Circuit Court impacting in a settled immigration law. So, what is this? What? And a total browser pop-up there. So now that's not the only kind of Supreme Court news that we had. We got just a lot of legal news this morning. A couple days ago, there was audio released of Justice Ketanji Brown on a different case. It was an oral argument of Muthney versus Missouri, and she said something super interesting. Interesting. Right. Let's get your opinion on what she has to say here. Hopefully this clip isn't that long. Restream, push that button.
Justice Jackson?
So my biggest concern is that your view has the First Amendment hamstringing the government in significant ways in the most important time periods. I mean, what would you have the government do? I've heard you say a couple times that the government can post its own speech, but in my hypothetical, kids, this is not safe, don't do it, is not going to get it done. And so I guess some might say that the government actually has a duty to take steps to protect the citizens of this country, and you seem to be suggesting that that duty cannot manifest itself in the government encouraging or even pressuring platforms to take down harmful information.
Okay.
Hang on. All that legalese bullshit.
Yeah.
He just basically said that the government can let companies censor anything they want.
Well, she's saying, the way the Supreme
Court, the government's duty.
Questions, but she's saying that, Mr. Lawyer, when you're saying that social media companies shouldn't be censoring Americans for any reason whatsoever, that First Amendment really is inconvenient for the government. What if the government wants to tell people to not get cancer?
Of course it is. That is the point, Justice Jackson.
Yeah, but remember, this is the justice that cannot define a woman. She doesn't know what a woman is. I don't know if we covered that on the show. Did you know that when she was nominated and being confirmed in the Senate. One of the senators asked her, "Can you define a woman?" And she said, "I'm not a biologist." Yeah, that's the Supreme. That's one of 9. We have 9 Supreme Court justices. That one there thinks the First Amendment's inconvenient.
This is what happens when survival of the fittest doesn't get to play out like nature intended.
I mean, I don't know. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Sorry that I cracked myself up with that one. I'm sorry. That was the funniest joke I've told myself all day.
Okay, so let's go back to the federal illegal thing real quick, just for a minute, because I wanted to cover our main story, but I do. And if you guys have opinions in chat, if y'all are hanging out with us, let us know. I don't know what they ask. Okay, so yesterday I said when you told me, yeah, I could see some folks there. When you told me yesterday that a federal judge ruled illegal immigrants can possess firearms in the Second Amendment, immediately is something I never thought before, and my mind was blown. I was like, why? Why are we letting criminal migrants have guns? But then I was like, Jason, the Second Amendment isn't provided by the Constitution to Americans. It's recognizing God-given rights. You have a God-given right to free speech. You have a God-given right to religion, and you have a God-given right to keep and bear arms to defend yourself. And we would not say that criminal migrants who shouldn't be here do not have the right to speech. We would not say that they do not have the right to due process, and we would not say they do not have the right to choose their own religion. So why did my brain think that criminal migrants aren't allowed to have guns? I don't know why I thought that.
You're stupid is why. Get on the level, son.
Now, they do not have a right to be here, so they can have guns, and we should get them out. That's all.
What was the company? Did I share that with you, or was it with Ashley? It was the company that was closing in Michigan or somewhere. It was closing down in this town, 1,500 workers, and they were hiring 2,000 immigrants in another part of the country.
Is it Tyson?
It was Tyson.
Tyson chicken.
It was Tyson chicken. Tyson
we
products.
Talk about that on this show.
I don't know if we did on the show. I know we posted it in the.
It's blown up in terms of Tyson's getting a boycott right now.
Yeah, that was what his initially was. It was like, here is all the brands that Tyson owns, and do not eat them. And to be honest, I mean, if you want chicken and your choices, don't buy Tyson. It doesn't take that long to cook chicken and to make it look. Just buy you a chicken breast, buy some frozen chicken.
Well, where are you gonna get the chicken from? Grow your own chickens?
That's true. I mean, you could contact a farmer. It's not. I guess if you live in a city, you probably.
We don't really think about that enough.
Go to a butcher. We've got a couple of butchers in our area, and some people will go to them and they sell local butchered meat. Butched meat. It's pricier.
Yeah, no, this is something that we don't really think about a lot. I say, when I say we, I'm talking about us snooty suburban elites. We don't think about this enough. You can obviously go to Kroger or HEB or wherever is your, grocery store, but there are also farms that have produce shops. They sell fruits, they sell vegetables, they have in some places there are
dude, some of the Amish and Mennonite families and stuff around our area, because we have a lot of Amish and Mennonite in our area, and they have a couple of stores. There's one store that's about 45 minutes, an hour away, and it's worth the freaking trip to go over there because they've got homemade butter, homemade breads, homemade cheeses, and it is so good.
You get like grass fed. You get eggs from grass fed chicken or whatever. They're better. It's better.
A lot of people don't like farm eggs. I've heard a lot of people say, I don't like the taste. I don't like the taste. Is because you're so used to these other eggs. You need to get used to natural protein. Yeah, man, it's so good.
I don't know.
How
I'm not sure how we. Yeah, I don't know. I'm lost.
Want some eggs and biscuits and gravy now? Good God.
Maybe I'm hungry. Okay.
I am hungry. I'm cooking biscuits out here. I can smell them right now.
Let's see. We had this little kind of bit of news. Do you know who Keith Olbermann is?
He's that washed up sports announcer who thinks he's a politician now and tries so hard to be relevant. Yes, I feel sorry for that poor soul.
So Biden Harris HQ posted a video clip of Trump that said, and they said, Trump says he has been treated worse than Abraham Lincoln, comma, who was assassinated. So the Biden Harris HQ says, they posted the video clip is a clip of Trump that saying he's been treated worse than Abraham Lincoln. And Keith Olbermann retweeted it and said this: there's always hope. There's always hope that someone will assassinate Donald Trump.
Well, he's okay.
That he's a psycho.
Yes, but he is a smart one because he worded it in a way to make you think of what he didn't say. He didn't say it.
Sneaky.
And those 4 words are perfectly orchestrated to get you to think of what he didn't say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, you got to hand it to the guy.
He didn't outright say it, but he did retweet it, and he. I mean. Anyway, so look, I'm not surprised if you don't know who Keith Olbermann is, but he is a giant turd human. All right, hey, I got a couple Kentucky stories, sir, and we can. And,
I got to
by
talk
the way,
again. Today's a busy day for me here. I'll explain in a minute.
Deke's got we're going to do a short show, probably no more than 45 minutes, because Deke's got guests coming into his radio station. For those of you who didn't know, Deacon is a 30-year award-winning DJ, and I'm not. So, yeah. So here's a little Kentucky news. Kentucky amendment preventing non-citizens from voting is heading to the ballot box. So no person who is not a citizen of the United States shall be allowed to vote in this state. The proposed amendment. For which I'm like, yeah, this is another thing that I was like, isn't this obvious? Why are we allowing? Why should non-citizens be allowed to vote? A constitutional amendment that would prohibit non-citizens from voting will appear on the ballot this year. The General Assembly passed the Senate Bill 143 on March 15th at a 72-12 vote, and the measure will now go before the people for consideration.
Yes, I read about this one on the air.
Yeah. So
we talked about it, I think, on our show too, didn't we?
Well, we've talked about this kind of stuff, a lot of things. I don't know that I knew that there was an amendment to Kentucky, but I mean, like, we definitely talk about this kind of thing very frequently.
I thought we brought it up because there was already something in there, but there was like a loophole.
Oh,
there was like a loophole or something that they with the wording that they were trying to alleviate this loophole to allow these citizens. It was with migrant workers and immigrants and how those 2 words were defined and stuff like that. I've been keeping up with the stuff that's going on in Kentucky. The owner of the radio station is a representative. Is a state representative.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I kind of try to keep up with everything.
You know how stupid I am? Because as soon as you said that, my first thought was like, we should have him on the show sometime. And then I was like, no, we should not do that.
No, we should not do that. No, he's a good guy, and I agree. He agrees with a lot of stuff that we don't agree on everything, but we agree on a lot of stuff. Sure. And he's a great guy. I've known him for like 30 years. I've known him as long as I've been in radio. So I've known him for like 30 years. So I've been keeping up with it. The one thing that I was talking about today and played a clip of today was there's a bill in Kentucky right now to put cursive writing back in schools so that by 5th grade, kids will be able to know how to cursive write again, because what was it? The Common Core took cursive writing out of schools. And I have seen posts on the internet and on Reddit, the devil, of where people are like, they'll post a picture of a page that's written in cursive, like maybe from a long time ago. And they're like, can someone please read this? I don't know what it says. And I'm looking at it. I'm like, I can read every word.
Yeah.
I know what this is. So, I mean, and it's a completely different language.
I guess I didn't know that cursive was taken out.
The Common Core took it out. My kids know how to cursive write because they started in private school. So they still taught it. And when my kids went to middle school and public school, I remember Alex coming home being like, I'm teaching this kid at school how to cursive write because I'm the only one in class that knows how to do it. I'm like, that's awesome. It sucks, but that's kind of,
I mean, look, it's slow. It's slow, but we very well may have raised an entire generation of people that are hampered.
There was something they were saying about the flow of the word being one continuous object, one continuous thing greatly helps people with dyslexia and whatnot read the word. And I've got a touch of dyslexia that I did not realize I had until I started 30 years ago reading stuff on the air. I didn't realize I had it because I just did it and you didn't realize it. But once I start reading things on the air and screwing it up on the air and being like, why did I put that word there? Or why did I add that letter? And that's not what that says, because I look like an idiot reading it in public. So I caught myself. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm sure people know this, but like if you write stuff down, like if you're a person that writes stuff down, you have to write stuff down or whatever. Or maybe you're getting a job where you're having to write copy or something like that. Write what you're writing down and then pick it up and read it out loud, because as a human, you know what you intend to write, and then you write something down. And when you just read it on paper, you read not what's on paper, you read what you intended. So by picking it up and reading it out loud, you're forcing a different part of your brain to process that information. And you'll be like, oh, what did I do?
And I've written comedy and scripts for 30 years. So anything I write now always comes out in script form. Yeah, it's like if I'm writing a love letter to Ashley, it sounds like a 30-second commercial. I love you very, very, you know what I'm saying?
After these messages, we'll be right back.
We'll get right back.
All right, we got one more Kentucky story, sir. Let's see if you knew about this one. Kentucky lawmakers vote to cut DEI funding.
Yeah, I read about
public
this.
Universities. Why, Deacon, did you approve DEI funding? Why'd you do that? State senator says, if I'm being wheeled into the emergency room to have brain surgery, do I look around at the brain surgery team and say, whoa, where's the diversity in this team?
Probably because you've got a brain injury.
Nice, See, that's good. That's a good joke.
Thank you.
The bill passed 68-18. The legislation heads back to the Senate, which passed a separate version of the bill, so they have to reconcile. The House version modified the Senate's language and took a stronger stance against the DEI programs at state universities. The House version would ban race-based scholarships and defund DEI offices and staff positions. Look, I don't know who's in favor of this, and I do know who's in favor of this. I know who's in favor of DEI. The people that are in favor of DEI are the people that get advantages from racist policies. They want unfair racist policies so that they get empowered. That's all it's about.
And don't get us wrong. JJ and I feel the same way. We don't care what race or color you are. If you are the best surgeon that's going to operate on my loved one, I will pick you first. If you are the best, I don't care what you are, what race, what sex.
I'm not really qualified to be picking my surgeon, but
I'm not. Yeah, that's first and foremost.
Race isn't it, you know?
That's not on the table.
Able to communicate with me, tell me what I'm doing wrong or whatever, you know, like.
Yeah.
But like It's not race. Look, folks, you do not judge people based on the color of their skin. You judge them based on whether they act like assholes. That's how you judge people.
Yeah, I think that's how that old quote goes.
That's well, we have a whole generation. We have a whole generation that can't read cursive. So you gotta simplify it a little bit. It's no longer the character of the quality of the character. Just judge assholes, not based on skin color, just based on are they being assholes.
You know what? I have 3 words that will sum up all of that. It was a bumper sticker I had on the back of my car when I was 16 years old.
Yes.
Mean people suck.
They do. That's true.
I had a little square bumper sticker on the back of my car. Mean people suck.
Did you have a coexist sticker on your car too?
No, I never had a coexist. I did put the Darwin fish on my car for a while.
I will make an amendment to my previous assertion. You may also judge people that have a coexist sticker. They have no brain.
No,
you can.
No, I don't agree with that.
Let's he's not co-signing that one.
No.
All right. Let's see. We got the Supreme Court handled. We got Keith Olbermann handled. Alex Jones is going off after my rep Dan Crenshaw.
I don't think I posted anything.
That's okay.
Today. We got stuff from yesterday that we didn't touch, and I got the AI stuff.
Got some AI. Yeah, we got some AI news here.
Okay.
Let's see. Elon Musk said that Twitter had past tense. That on Twitter, the FBI had a portal that auto deleted all communications within 14 days. Now, remember, you know what? These stories are kind of related. So Dan Crenshaw got caught out on the street by a reporter who was basically saying, "You don't think that the U.S. intelligence agencies are manipulating the American public?" And Dan Crenshaw said, "I know they're not. Do you have any evidence otherwise?" Like, okay, Dan, nobody believes that. But we covered last year the Twitter files, and we talked about how the FBI was literally up inside Twitter, banning free speech, banning accounts of American citizens, and treating Twitter like a puppet. And Elon says that at that time, Twitter had at Twitter, the FBI had a portal that would auto delete communications. So the FBI would be like, hey, maybe take these guys down, and then that message would get deleted. And by deleting that message, Deke, that means that you cannot acquire that information with a Freedom of Information request. So the FBI was able to circumvent documentation by having messages auto deleted at Twitter. That's not too good. All right. So anyway, that was pretty interesting. If you guys are interested in that, you guys should head over to scanner.news. Scanner.com, SCNR.com. That's Tim Pool's news outfit. And they always have interesting stories. Especially
what is going to come out of that?
Probably nothing, because we have Congress people denying that U.S. intelligence services are manipulating the American public. Well, I'm probably gonna touch on Dan Crenshaw again. Maybe not today though, because we don't have a lot of time. Okay, let's talk AI news. Let's see. Let's do this one first.
Are you not going to do your special?
You're right.
Wow, I can't believe I reminded you. What the hell's wrong with me?
Beep, bop, boop. This is AI.
Yeah, okay. So
I just really miss seeing Steve down here in the corner.
I know. Hey, Steve.
Yeah, Steve.
Look at it doing it again. Restream. Oh, that's the wrong button. Service stinks. Top scientists warn that AI is an existential threat to humanity.
Oh, this old story again. We know.
Yeah.
We know we're going to be taken over by AI. I've seen the movies.
Decisive action is required to avoid catastrophic global outcomes from AI. I guess there's nothing really like too outstanding of this. There was some sort of a forum in Beijing, and some academics basically were like, "Oh, we've got to do something about this." And a couple of things that they wrote here, I highlighted. Among the proposed ideas is a comprehensive governing body that requires domestic registration for AI models in order to ensure governments have visibility into the most advanced AI technology. I'm going to just go ahead and say this is among the worst ideas that you guys could come up with, you genius academics. scientists also propose domestic regulators adopt globally aligned requirements via multilateral institutions and agreements to prevent. Guys, how's the WHO working out? How's the World Health Organization working out? How's the World Economic Forum working out? When you establish giant top-down global bodies that make up rules that make no sense, or that doesn't work. This is a bad idea. So they want to put together an international governing body that makes sure that government gets a hold of every AI model. Good job. Good job. You guys are right on the ball there. These are scientists.
What will they seize? You ask, JJ. That's a good question. That's a good question. I'm glad you asked that.
Well, how could this go wrong?
You see all the this is the presentation from Star Wars Episode 9 when they go in.
No way. Is it really?
No, this is from NVIDIA's new little presentation. That's the chief executive officer Jensen Huang showed off new chips aimed at extending his company's dominance of artificial intelligence computing. NVIDIA is worth $2 trillion. They've trailed just behind Microsoft and Apple. They don't just make graphics cards for you gamers out there.
They took all your gamer money and they made robot intelligence.
Yeah, they took all your gamer money. And they fueled it into AI intelligence. So this new processor is called Blackwell. It's named after the first Black scholar inducted into the National Academy of Science, David Blackwell. And these Blackwell chips are made up of 208 billion transistors.
Holy moly.
Is that intelligent? Yeah. 208 billion transistors.
Folks, you don't even have a way to mentally, you can't even
comprehend
imagine what
208 billion.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
You have no frame of reference for what 208 billion looks like.
I was trying to think of a frame of reference, but these I don't know if there was a video of these robots. I don't know if they moved or anything like that, but I'm sure they did if it's NVIDIA. And I have another one here. AI. Speaking of NVIDIA, they have virtually. If the thing will pull up, there we go. It's this website, Tech Radar. NVIDIA has virtually recreated the. It's probably me.
All right. Morning, y'all. No.
What about now?
I can hear you. So go ahead.
Are you good now? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I'm just going to take off that web page. I think that's what it was. It was that Tech Radar web page. NVIDIA is basically recreated with their AI and their graphics and processors to hang on, let me just bring it up here and see if it'll let me read it while I'm doing it instead of trying to go off memory. It's Earth 2 API unveiled that can help address $140 billion in cost losses around the world due to extreme weather brought on by climate change. It has created a virtual world, and it is basically identical. They've got it set up to where it's identical to Earth with the weather patterns. And they can study and judge the weather patterns. They use a new NVIDIA generative AI model called CoreDiff, which is able to generate 12.5 times higher resolution image than current numerical models, 1,000 times faster and 3,000 times more energy efficient, as well as correcting inaccuracies from previous models. So our weather forecasting is getting better thanks to AI.
Is AI accounting for climate change perhaps being caused by the sun? Or
I'm sure.
I mean, I don't know.
climate change is climate change. I don't know if it's I don't think man-made climate change makes a big difference at all, and that whole thing
Negligible
was a
amount,
big
for sure.
farcical trying to sell bullshit. But if the world is warming up because it's going through a cycle, then the world's going up because it's going through a cycle, and we live this freaking long in that cycle. You see how close my fingers are together? That's how long we live.
Also, what if our thermometers are not very good, and we're recording all this
And
data and
also, we've
panicking?
been studying this we've been recording it for 200 years, so whatever. You know, we think we're
All right,
geniuses.
I have an
and we're
AI
not.
story. Check this out. The Department of Homeland Security, oh boy, this is starting bad, is starting to incorporate artificial intelligence into active investigations. Yup, the government's using AI against us, or maybe against adversary.
Okay, read that again. I'm sorry.
Department of Homeland Security is to incorporate artificial intelligence in active investigations.
Well, I figured they already done that.
They're launching several pilot programs of AI. The projects will test AI technology to enhance immigration officer training, reduce the burden of applying for disaster relief grants, and improve the efficiency of law enforcement investigations, according to DHS statement. Sorry. HSI will begin testing to enhance investigative process aimed at detecting fentanyl and increasing the efficiency of child sex exploitation investigations. The Federal Emergency Management Agency will use AI to help communities plan for and develop hazard mitigation plans to minimize risk. And the USCIS will begin using AI to improve immigration officer training. So it sounds innocent enough. Why not? And you know what? Pretty soon, scientists are going to make sure that the DHS has the best AI models available because they're going to be getting them from everybody else. So, what could go wrong? Nothing, I say. Nothing at all.
Nothing, I'd say.
I'm just going to put this idea out there. One day, in the not too distant future, somebody's going to be in a court case and the state's going to present evidence and they're going to say, well, the AI said this about your case. And folks, you got to remember, we still have a jury of our peers for now. Eventually, perhaps you will have a jury of 12 AIs that are deciding what your fate is. But as long as it's still a jury of your peers that are humans, those humans can choose to say, we don't believe AI evidence. But eventually, the jury will probably be of AIs because that'll just be like more convenient. Nobody would have to go to jury duty, and AI could just decide whether we're guilty of stuff. That'll be a great time.
I missed some of that, so all right, sorry. I've got guests.
Yeah. We'll wrap it up. I was just floating this idea that what if we got rid of human jurors and we just had AI jurors and we just let 12 robots decide everything.
And that's why we don't let you decide things. See, you've realized you've come full circle, and this is why we don't let you make choices.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys all have the choice to like and subscribe before the end of the show.
I didn't get my music up here, but go to the Discord server and go over JJ's head. The Big Empty by Stone Temple Pilots from the soundtrack.
Dude,
that was probably the biggest song from that album, and that was there was a couple, but that one was the biggest one. It got all kinds of radio play. It became a big Stone Temple Pilots song, but that's where it ended up being on their album Purple. I think that was the name of the album. Did I ever tell you about
the time I got to go watch Stone Temple Pilots for free?
Oh, no, really?
Ask me tomorrow. Ask me tomorrow.
Okay. Was Scott Weiland
that was in my imagination. It should have been Scott Weiland, but it wasn't.
Oh,
it was.
He died.
Yeah, it was his other guy who also died, I think.
Oh, okay.
Okay. We end the show every day with a joke. You earned it. What did the father buffalo say to his little boy when he dropped him off at school? Oh.
Bye, son.
All right.
Give me another one. Yeah.
So, Deke, a duck walks into a pharmacy and says, "Give me some chapstick."
Put it on my bill. You got another one?
What are two things you can't have for dinner? I know. See, go ahead. Yeah,
Breakfast.
I know. Yeah.
Lunch.
Right. I knew as I was asking that it. All right. What do you got? Oh, he's on the phone. What do you got?
Last night, we were getting ready to go out to eat, and Ashley asked me to pass her lipstick, and I reached over and accidentally passed her a glue stick, and she is still not talking to me.
Thank you for watching, folks. We'll see you tomorrow.
Talking heads lying left and right. You can help us bring facts into the light. Don't let your daughter lose her next swim meet to a psychopath dude with fake teats. Tuning now to your To That Show. JJ and Deacon, they're the ones that know. Subscribe quick, the squid monster's on the way. Conspire with us, tomorrow's news today. Oh yeah.
In the election, Justice JJ and Justice Deacon